On page 107.
Eloheinu melech haolam shelo asani go, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam shelo asani oved, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam shelo asani ish, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam pakeach ivrim, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam albi sharumim, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam matir asumim, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam zokeh kfufim, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam rak haaretz al hamayim, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam shasali kol sod, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam amechin mitzad gov, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam ozei Yisrael bigur, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam ate Yisrael b'siforo, Eloheinu Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam hanosem hayoid koah. Sneinu hayom v'chol yom lachem v'chetzul lachamim beinecha beinecha roveinu sigmaleinu chasadim tovim v'urchato Adonai kamel chasadim tovim lamo Yisrael. Tichach anachnu chayavim lo'oret l'kol jaber chol v'er chol v'lech l'kadesh shemech v'zeh shavod l'zimech ashreinu ma tov v'cholkeinu ma noim g'olenu יפה ירושלים אשרינו שאנחנו משקיעים ועריבים ערב בבוקר ומפעמיים בכל יום
שמע ישראל
אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד אומרים לקדש שמו ומלך ושיבה שפתו ומזק ביקרננו ברוכתו אדוני לקדש שמך ברבים
Hashem Yom Shema Yisrael.
Rabbi Shmuel?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Rabbi Shmuel. Yeah.
Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Shmuel, ירצון לפניך נעלה למסנו שיבונה בית המקדש במהרה בימינו זקן מסורתך שם נעבוד חביר כימיון לא מוכשנים קדמונים
Rabbanan Kaddish, Yisgadal v'Yisgadash Me'Rabom v'Yalmad Yivrach Yerusei v'Yamlich Machusei v'Chaye Chon of Yomei Chon of Chaye Dechol Beis Yisrael v'Gala v'Zman Korivim Romein Yehesh Me'Rabom v'Rach V'Yolam Me'el Maya Is Borach v'Yishtabach v'Yispoah v'Yisimam v'Yisnasei v'Yisadar v'Yisaleh v'Yisalosh Me'Dikucho B'Richu Yelomi Kol B'Chasav v'Shirasah Tush B'Chasav Nechemasa Damiram B'Yalma V'Imru Amen Al Yisrael v'Rabbanon B'Al Talmideyom B'Al Kol Talmidei Talmideyom Al Kol Man Diaskim B'Yaraisa Diva Asra Adein V'Diva Chol Asar B'Asar Yehei Lahon Nuchon Shlamo Rabbom China v'chiz devrachamim v'chayim arichin Zon Ravicha U'Parkana Mikadam Ma'avun D'Bishmaya v'Yarav Imru Amen Yehei Shlomo Rabbo Min Shemaya v'chayim tovim Aleinu v'Yal Kol Yisrael v'Imru Amen Osei Shalom Yirimo v'Rachamov Yaseh Shalom Aleinu v'Yal Kol Yisrael v'Imru Amen Page 135
Elechano yakro velarno yeschano ma betza bedomi b'ditil shachas yakro v'yigreventecho shmarno v'chonei ni arno yoseli fachtam mismidile macholi b'tachtisaki v'daltenu simcha mani zamercha v'lo yedom arno yalahayno lo madeko
Kaddish Yisgadal v'Yisgadash Me'Rabom v'Yalmad Yivrach Yerusei v'Yamlich Machusei v'Chaye Chon v'Yomei Chon v'Chaye Dechol Beis Yisrael V'Galav Zman Korivim Amen Yehesh Me'Rabom V'Rach V'Yolam Me'el Maya Yiz Borach V'Yishtabach V'Yispoah V'Yisimam V'Yisnasei V'Yisadar V'Yisaleh V'Yisalosh Me'Dikucho B'Richu L'Yelam Mikol B'Chasav V'Shirasah Tush B'Chasav Nechemasa Damiram B'Yalma V'Imru Amen Yehesh Lamo Rabbo Min Shemaya V'Chayim Aleinu V'Yal Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen Osei Shalom B'Mreima V'Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Yal Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen Page 137
Ebruchator no lemachom elo balachamon. Yochid Chei Olamim Melech Mishubrim for Ariyat Shmo Agadol Baruch Atah Adonai Melech Mehulol Batish Bochos Adonai Ushil Adonai Kolos Stabagim Ki Godol Adonai Mulo Miot Venorahu Al Kol Elohim Ki Kol Elohim Amim Elilim Varanoi Shomayim Oson Yismech Moshe Mayim Sogel Ores, V'yom Yigoyim Adonai Moloch, Yiram Hayom Umlo, Yanas V'sodeh, V'chalach Yabos, Yiranu Atzei Yoar, V'lubni Adonai. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, Yishtachu L'Adam Raglov Kodoshu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, Yishtachu L'Akodoshu, Ki Kodosh Adonai Eloheinu, V'lubni Adonai. Atu Adonai Lo Zichrocha Chamecha, Mimeni, Chazam Midutam Nitzruni. Adonai Tzvos Hashodam Atayach Bo Chananoi Oshi Yo Melech Yaneinu Yom Koreinu Oshi Samecho Yichaz Ranoi Aleinu Kasher Yichalnu Lo Hashem Yigolo Hashem Sharanoi Lahov Vani Barazam Atach Yogel Levi B'Shua Secho Ashiro Ladanoi Ki Gomal Loloi Todas Adonai to me, Mom Shivas Nofesh. Edu Saran and Monarch in the Fetty. Nigation Fetty, you let us only play Vivia Gilifonecho. Adonai, Tsuri, go Ali. Miri Shabbat Chaim.
Yishmach Hoshibo.
Al kafai mi so une khobenti kon beben aglech al shakhl bezentidron akal ze magade orech yom masbiyu bare yu bishuosi orech yom masbiyu bare yu bishuosi hallelujah lo shemar no yalu avdela no shum bisal no ibrahim Velo ira beiru na velo yiros na velo Beis Israel Baruch Saranoi Beis Aaron Baruch Saranoi Beis Halevi Baruch Saranoi Yiri Arnoi Baruch Saranoi Baruch Saranoi Mitzion Shechen Yerushalayim Hallelujah Hodu Larna Gidok Yom Kazdon Shep Shifena Zogalon, Kilum Khazdo, if getting to Nikulum Khazdo, no Sen Lachem, Lechol Bonson, Kilum Khazdo, Hodulila Shomayim, Kilum Khazdo, understand? Nafshenu Chiksular Noyes, Renu Mogadenu, Kivo Ismach Libenu, Kibshem Kotsabatochnu.
Be seated, please. 153.
Oh, you know to save the shame, you not me, you like it, Kyosho, I don't know it's Suri, blow up lost a bow. Mikolos, my Rabbi. Mani Mishbrayom Ati Vamarom Aronoi Edo Sechanem Nemod Leves Chano Avokodesh Aronoi Leonech Yomi.
We are reading through the morning Psalms, page 157 in the Siddur. Kilo Yidushan Yamov Nakloson Yazovurach, we make a better one Yashris, the Hill Volo Shiva, Poklo Yukol Hamaso,
Adonai Hoshio HaMelech Yaneinu V'Yom Koreinu Ashrei Shevisech V'Yuluchselo V'Yuluchselo כי לא לדבר על מכל המלך והמלכו שמכל יעולם ועובד בכל יום אברכך ויאנשים כל עובד גדול לנו ימול מאוד דלגלות שאיכי קהל דלו שבוסר חנון ולחום על הנוי מלך אפיים וגדול החוסת שומר כאן על כל הנופלים זה כל הכפופים מן כל דרך סביר בנו כרגע אני בכל דרוך ובכל שית בכל מעשו שמעני את גלובה ואת גלו שם יאש מגלסנו ידפר פי ביברך כל בזה שם קודשו לעולם ועד ואנחנו נברך יו מהטוב עד עולם הללויה הללויה לי נפשי שרנוי אני באתי לסולים ארנו את פרקי אחיו רימנו זקי כפופים ארנו צדיק עמנו שומר גר עם יוסף אלמונו יהודית בדרך לשום יאבייס אם לא חנו את יעולם עלי ציון לדור ודור הללויה הללויה גידוס המלאינו מגיד ורב ליעקב חוקו ומשפטו לישראל לא שכן לכל גויים משפטים בעל ידו הללויה הללויה לא אסמם אל שמיים מלו במרומים מלו כל מלוך מלו כל סבול יאלו שמנו יקדיש בשמו לבנו הודו על ארץ ושמיים ויורם קרן ליעמוד גילו כל חסידו לבני ישראל עם קרוב הללויה הללויה שלנו שחודו כי גולו סור לכל חסידים לזה מחים בזיקים ליבדים חבלים ערזר לזוז בהם משפט כוסף הודו ולכל חסידו הללויה הללויה אלוהים בקודשו עלו בקיעוזו עלו בגבורוסו הללויה זל שלשם הללויה זל זל כל הנשמת הללויה הללויה כל הנשמות הללויה הללויה ברוך הנעלים אמן ברוך ברוך שם כבודו לעולם וימול לכבודו את כל הארץ אמן.
Please rise. 167.
וכל הנגדולו והגבורו והתפארת והניצח וההוד ככל בשמיים ובארץ הוא על נעלים אשר בחרת באברהם ויציצים יוקז מסמת שמי אברהם ומצוסו יש לבבו נאמר לפניך ויום גלת פני ויבן סוף היום ויבושו ויסוד משלח נביא מצולות כמו אבן במים מעשים היושנה ביום ויענישו לפי הגדולה שעשנו במצרים ויראו מסרנוי ויאמינו באדוני ובמשה עבדו לשם השם והשאיר אדוני כי גוי גבו סוס ברך ורמו ויום יהודים מצב ולישועו זה בידיין זה יהיו אלה יואבי בדום ממנו אדוני שמלכם אדוני שמו מה כבוד בעלו בדיון? Kom nog een maar nooit, ik wil maar dat naar ze hier los zo zeven, het is je meer van. Adja wanneer kwam nooit, adja wanneer ze kon niet zo. Kila nooit, am nog mochel bagoi, bol mochi, baatje niet voor de zaak zo is er nooit am nog. We horen maar naar melech al koloret, vayom ahu yara nooit God ushma.
Be seated, please. 173, Nishmas.
En hem jullie wie worgen, wie schaap, wie voor, wie romen, wie aris, wie akies, wie amir, wie maken. Niet melach, niet melach, niet janach, wie lag dan like voor een hele jaar, kunnen ze mij bemoorden. Na le van ze weer van voor, gewoon waar Hashem God zeggen, kom alle door voor geen afspraak zijn nooit, we gaan naar Hashem God show, en we zullen moeten zeggen. Agado bikvot shmecha gibulot tzachon ora ben ora tzecho hamelacha yoshel kiserom venisro.
Middle of page 175, Shochinad.
Shochinad morom v'kodosh shemo ראשון וסלול, דברי צדיקים תסבורך, ובלשון חסידים תסרומם, ובקרב קדושים תסקדם.
הכל לא סביבו סמך ובסיסווה.
Kavei sal kol divrei shiros v'sesh bechos David ben Yishai Avdecho Meshicher
Ishtabashim
Os liodos miato v'yado olam baruch Ato Adonai Eile melech kudol batish bochos Eile odovos Adona niflobos Aboche b'shirei simera Melech Eil Chehu elami
Please rise, 177, the half Kaddish.
Skarav yiskadash emerabo V'yamodi v'rok yisaviyam ekosei Chayechon v'yamechon v'chayr chavish Yisrael Bagolov is Makori v'yamerova V'lo v'ishtav v'yispo v'yisron v'yisnase v'yisadol 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 Shemei d'kudisho V'li yelem mikal v'choso v'shiroso Tol v'chaso v'nechemoso Da'amir ami alemo V'yameru amein Bochu Esarinoi Yamevorach Baruch Arinoi Yavorach Liolom Evorach.
Be seated, please. 179 through 181.
Enki akon alevamasev Yisros chamakeinu l'chaye olam habo Efes piltchog yolen limos HaMoshiach V'yeda melech HaMoshiachenu L'siyas HaMeisim Kol neshom of God, lo v'tuvo, moleyo, midas, zruno, Allah me kovos vosol yisholich neichiso esek virachamim lifnei Fikim no gano Follow semechim betzeisom V'sosim bevom Osim beyem of betzeisom Plumos mes piemik tu shavit tahara v'shira v'simero v'varchim v'shavechim v'farim u'maritzim u'magdishim u'mamlichim es Hashem u'el HaMelech HaGodol HaYivanoro Koroshu Kol mikalim aleim al malchu shemayim es emiseh Benosenim nishu zelozeh Miyagdik liosra benach asirwach בסופו ברורה בנימו, קידושו כולם כאחד, עונים ויאמרים ויירו קדוש, 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 אדינוי צבאות, ללא כל ארץ כבוד. אנו חייס הקודש בראש קודנו מסנסים לימה סרפים, Limaso mishabechim beyomerim baruch kevod Adonai yimekom. Kodesh al sin tov niskech lana meher liyodo baruch atah Adonai yotzei da meyodo ahavo rabba v'tanu. Ki abo Yeshua Satav anu atom igolam v'loshom Yirafton leishim agol sel b'yemes Yodos lechol yachedecha b'yahavo baruch atah Adonai Havochem yamo Yisrael v'yahavo Shema Adonai lechem emes. Odor kayim shmo kayim lesin ramal sen maso load kayames. Already showing yakhlin do betavigam. Koder mats me moshmecha ein Elohim zulasech ez asav sein atom Elohim. Shayish yishmal mitzvasech ez as godvach yisim alibos. Los de yamor khumorov moshev ne Israel khana shira besimcha rabo ve yamero kholomi amon kholeim madonoi mi kamon nedor bakodesh Vasayom Yachakul Amodovim Elicho Veyomeru Adonai Yod Yehuda ve'Yisrael u'b'dei Romecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael Going one night for Shemo Kidol Yisrael Oruch Ato Adonai.
The Amidah, page 195 in the Siddur.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Yoseinu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Oel HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasodim Tovim v'Koni Yaakov v'Zoche Chased Yavos U'Mevi Goel Evnei V'Neim Leman Shemo v'Yahavo Melech Ozer Moshiach Morgein Baruch atah Adonai Morgein Aviroho Atah Yimol Malenoi Mechayim Esimato Rav Liyoshiyah Mechankel Chaim B'Chesed Mechayim Meisim B'Rachamim Ravim Samen Nachlim B'Rochei Cholim U'Matir Asonim Mido Melech Melech B'Mislim Chayeh Matzmiach Yeshua V'Ne'emon Atol Yachayov.
The Kedusha, page 197.
Baruch atah Adonai Chayei Ameis Adishi Shimcha B'Olam Ki Shem Shemai Dishim Osa V'Shemei Marom Kakosu V'Yad Neviyecha V'Korose Eleze V'Yom Kol rash gudol ani bechozok ma shemiyim kol misnasim liyasin afim liyasom baruch yomei rubaruch Yehovah Eloi Nimekom echom alikeinu sofiyah Vesim Eloi choleinu ki mechakim anachnu lo Mosai Mosai timeloch betzion timeloch betzion Bekarov beyameinu Som Yerushalayim מקדיש בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לימוש ליעולם אבוד כי יהיה המלך גדול וקדוש אתה ברוך אתה אדוני
Be seated, please. We join the cantor 199, the third paragraph, Yismach Moshe.
Yismach Moshe B'matnas cheliko Ki yeved nemon Ki yeved nemon Ki yeved nemon Karas Allah Loi 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 Yismach Yismach Moshe b'matnas cheliko b'matnas cheliko ki yeved nemon ki yeved nemon ki l'tiferes b'roshon sato Yam da lefonecha walasiyinoi Ushinei luchos luchos avonim Horid beyodo V'chasu bohem shemira Shabbos V'chekosu b'sodasecha Yismach Moshe B'matnas chelko Ki yeved nemon Ki yeved nemon Ki yeved nemon Koros olo Loi 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 Yismach Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelko b'matnas chelko ki yeved nemon koros olom Shamiru Yisrael Shabbos Lasos es Shabbos ledoris Rabbi Yisodom Beni Yevem Yisrael Asi leYolom Ki sheshes yomim osari no es Shemai veYesuretz Ovayam Ashvi Shavas vaynofash Blen Satin Lein Goya Rutsos V'lo Yechadem Akelo Yelev Tesilim V'gam V'nogosel Yishkenu Areilim Ki Yisraelam Choresate B'Yahavo Lezera Yaakov Asher Bam B'choreto Mikali Sheishivi Kolom Yizbi Yisanglo Mitvecho V'ashvir Et Sisaba V'Kedashto Chemdas Yamim Oso Koroso Seichel Masei V'Reishis Eloheinu V'lei Avoseinu Et Seivim Nuchoseinu Kadisheinu V'mitzvosecho V'sein Chelkeinu V'sorosecho Sabeinu b'tovecha V'samecheinu b'shuasecho Baruch atu Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbos Seyam Ebiam Pri Yisrael L'Sfilosom Yoshev L'Savodo L'Dvi B'Secho B'Ishei Yisrael L'Sfilosom Yavos Ekaber B'Ratzon V'Silos Yitomid Avedas Yisrael Amecha V'Sechazenu Inenu Shuvotsim Rachamim Baruch atu Adonai Hamachazi Shechino Sol Etzion Modim Anachnu אתה שמך ולכונוה להודות. אלוהינו לימוסינו ברכינו בעבדו גם שולשס, ותורה כתובה למשה עבדך, ואמורה מפי ארינו על כהנים, עם קדושך כאמור, יבורכך אדינוי וישמרך. יואל אדינוי פניו אליך ויחנך. אדינוי פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. Shalom Tavrachem Vesram Olam Yaakov Yisrael Mecha Barucheinu Avinu Gulon Gecha Beyor Ponecha Ki Be'amalei Nasatalon Adonai Eloheinu Toras Chaim V'Yahavas Chesed Stok Avroch Avraham V'Chaim V'Shulam Etov V'Yenecha Levad V'Samcho Yisrael V'Chol Eisel Chol Shov Yishlam Mecha Baruch Ato Adonai HaMevorech Es Amo Yisrael V'Shalom Kadavis kadash meirabo. Yom odim rachun usem yom maos tevay chanav yom echon chayro v'yis Yisrael. V'agoloi makon v'yimero. Yehei shmei dakom v'vorach. V'yolam u'lomei amayom.
Hayom Shabbos Kodesh, page 345.
Hayom Shabbos Kodesh.
Those who recite the Kaddish, Yiskadal v'Yiskadash Mei Rabbo. V'yolmo divrach Yerusei v'yamlich malchusei v'chaye echon v'yom echon v'chaye dechol beish Yisrael v'agolo v'zman koriv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabom avorach v'yolam u'meil mayim. Yisborach v'yishtabach v'yispoar v'yisrimam v'yisnasei v'yisadar v'yisaleh v'yisalol shmei dekudsho brichum. V'yelah min kol birchosa v'shirasa Tush birchosa v'nechemasa da'amiram b'yolmo v'yimru amen. Yehei shlomo rabo min shemayo v'chayim oleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Say shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom oleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. On page 237, we join, top of the page, the service for the removal of the Torah from the ark, Ein Kamocha, 237.
Ein kamocha balim Adonai, ve'yein kemasecha.
Malachos Zecham, Malachos Kol
Olamim, Omen Shaltecha, V'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch, le'olam poet. Adonai yos le'amo yitein.
the middle of page 237, we join together Vayhi bin Soa.
Vayhi bin Soaron, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, Veyafutzu Oivecha, Veyanusu Misanecha, Ipanecha, Ki Mitzion Teitzei Torah, Ki Mitzion Teitzei Torah, Udevar Adonai Mirushalayim, Baruch Shenosan Torah, Baruch Shenosan Torah, Le'yamo Yisrael, B'Kiddush Yasam, Brit Midmar Yoma.
On page 241, 5 lines from the top, we join together Bei Anorachitz.
Beyanarachitz, Belis Kadisha, Kadisha Yakira, Anai Moretus Becham, Beyanarachitz, Beyanarachitz, Belis Kadisha, Kadisha Yakira, Anai Moretus Becham, Yehi Rava Kadama, Desir Kachai, Yoraisam, Vesaslim Mishalim, Ibribi, Veli Badechalam of Yisrael, Nitabul Chayim, Islam. Amen.
We put aside the Hertz Chumash. In fact, you pass them towards the center aisle where we'll ask some of the younger people to collect them. Just past the Hertz Chumash, that's the blue copy you have, towards the center aisle. We'll ask some of the young people to collect them. We continue the service in the Siddur. Please turn to page 255. 255, the last paragraph, Yakum Porkum Min Shemaya. In the Siddur, the last paragraph.
Yikum Porkam Min Shemaya.
Just past the Chumashim, refrain from any conversation. We're in the midst of prayer on page 257.
Vechamitz sheyoskim b'tzarchei tzibur be'emunah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu ויסיר מהם כל מחלה, ויפול לכל גופם, ויסלח לכל עוונם. וישלח ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיהם.
This is the Shabbos that precedes also the 5th day of Iyar, which is the celebration of Israeli Independence Day. On Friday of this coming week, the State of Israel will observe its 17th birthday. Of course, there'll be special celebration on that day. I believe it only appropriate, too, that we offer special prayer this morning, first for our government and then for the government and the people of the State of Israel. Would you please rise? 259. Heavenly Father, Avinu Shabbat, uphold and bless this our country, the United States of America. Implant brotherly love among all who dwell therein. Bless thou the constituted officers of government in this land. Set in their hearts the spirit of wisdom and understanding to uphold peace and freedom. Bless thou, O Lord, the State of Israel, which will observe its 17th anniversary, the first flower of the promised redemption of thy people. May the words of thy prophet there be fulfilled, that from Zion shall go forth thy Torah, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Spread, O Lord, the sheltering tabernacle of peace over all the earth, with all mankind dwelling in brotherhood and tranquility. V'chein yehi ratzon, and may this be thy will. V'nomar, and we say, Amen. This also is the Shabbos that precedes the new month. We offer blessing for the new month. Please turn to page 261. Would you join me first in the translation on page 262? May it be thy will, Lord our God, and God of our fathers, to bring on the coming new month for our good and blessing. Grant us long life, a life of peace, a life of goodness, a life of blessing, a life with sustenance, a life of vigor and vitality. May it be a life with reverence for heaven and with the fear of sin, a life without shame or ignominy, a life rich with honor, a life in which there shall be among us love of the Torah and veneration for heaven. Yea, may it be a life in which the prayer of our heart shall be fulfilled for good. Amen. Selah. Page 261, the first paragraph, Yehi Ratzon L'Fonecha.
Yehi Ratzon L'Fonecha Adonai Eloheinu שתחדש עלינו את החודש הזה, שתחדש עלינו את החודש הזה, לטובה ולברכה, ותיתן לנו חיים ארוכים, ותיתן לנו חיים של שלום, חיים של טובה, חיים של ברכה, חיים של פרנסה, חיים של חילוץ עצמות, חיים, חיים, חיים שיש בהם יראת שמיים, שיש בהם יראת שמיים ויראת חסד, חיים, חיים שאין בהם בושה וכלימה, חיים, חיים של אושר וכבוד, חיים, חיים שתהיה בנו אהבת תורה, תורה ויראת שמיים, ויראת שמיים, חיים, חיים שימלאו משאלוס ליבנו לטובה, שימלאו משאלוס ליבנו לטובה, אמן, 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 סלאם.
מי שעושה חברים גוי יוצא
מי שעשה ניסים לאבותינו וגאל אותם מעבדות לחירות, הוא יגאל אותנו בקרוב, יקבץ נידחנו מארבע כנפות הארץ. חברים כל ישראל, 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 חברים, 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 חברים,
The Rosh Chodesh is Iyar. It falls tomorrow, Sunday and Monday, Yom Rishon v'Yom Sheni.
Rosh Chodesh Iyar, Iyar v'Yom Rishon Sheni, Avoleinu v'Yal Kol Yisrael, L'tova.
Rosh Chodesh
Aleinu v'Yal Kol Amo Beis Yisrael, L'chaim u'Shalom, L'sason u'Simcha, L'yeshua u'Nechama, in Amen.
Page 265, Ashri Yoshev Esacha.
Ashrei Shevesecha, Yochatzon. Sarai the Pi, Vivarek Hawasar Shankachale Lamvaed, Yanachnu Nevorech Yak, Beataviar Olam, Hallelujah.
Page 267, in the middle of the page, we join together after Yahalelu, Hodu, and the responsive chanting Mizmor LaDavid. 267. Page 271.
Ki lekachov nasati lachem, Torasi al tazovu, Eitz
Be seated, please. Matthew has a few words for the congregation at this point.
Rabbi Kozlo, Cantor Veroba, and honored guests. We learned from the Torah reading this Shabbos about commandments dealing with how a nation atones for sins it has committed. These commandments are just a few of our Taryag mitzvot. Taryag mitzvot are the 613 commandments which God has given to us to fulfill throughout our lives. From my birth until today, my bar mitzvah, I was too young to carry the Ol HaShamayim, or the burden of the commandments. According to the law of God, I was not responsible for sins that I committed in that time. My sins were counted as my parents' sins, and they were punished for them. This was so because I did not know how to keep from sinning and how to perform God's commandments. On my bar mitzvah invitation was written a familiar commandment, which I quote, "And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children." I am sure you all agree with me and that my parents have truly fulfilled this commandment. They have taught me so well that today I am able to say that I am ready to fulfill my own mitzvot and that I can be punished for my own sins. This is the responsibility of a bar mitzvah boy. I am grieved at the recent death of my grandfather. However, I am sure he and my other departed grandparents are with me spiritually. There are some close relatives who join with me on the simcha of my bar mitzvah, whom I would like to mention. First, I happen to be very happy to have my grandmother, Mrs. Goldefeder, here with me today, and her sister, Mrs. Millie Hershkovitz, who flew in from Israel just for my bar mitzvah. Next, Mrs. Emma Millard, who is the next closest person to me after my parents. Our household would not know what to do without our dear Emma. Not only I, but the entire family is indebted to her. To Michael and Roger, thank you for your, quote, older brother's support throughout my life. Roger, 6 years ago, on the same pulpit, told me that I should be patient, or I would have a beautiful bar mitzvah also. To Michael, I'm indebted for being the referee sometimes between Roger and myself. Truthfully, I'm a very fortunate fellow. God has blessed me with two wonderful parents, and I thank him so much for them. I only say this much, since that there is too much thanks due to my parents, which cannot be expressed in a few words. To Rabbi Kozlo and Cantor Veroba, many thanks for your teachings and guidance, and your warm friendship to my family and myself.
Thank you, Matthew, for your message. Please find a place. We'll wait. And would you please keep the door closed in the rear? My sermon this morning, based upon a passage and a midrash from the Sidra, and the quality of the Haftorah, I should like to dedicate to our bar mitzvah this morning and to the many young people, classmates and friends of his in the congregation this morning, and also especially to our parents. The theme, a faith for our children. There is probably no aspect of our daily experience that concerns us more as parents than our relationship with our children. The wish to see our children happy, And if we are sincerely interested in correcting mistakes, and if we are interested in improving the mistakes and the character of the society in which we live, you and I can do nothing better, I believe, than to think a bit, as we do, about our children, and what it is that we as parents should try to give them. Someone correctly observed that a man can live for 3 weeks without food, for 3 days without water, but not for 3 minutes without faith. Now, how accurate that estimate is, I don't really know. But one thing I believe is abundantly clear. Our supreme mission as parents is the imparting of a faith to our children, to our young or our children, with which they can live, hopefully courageously and constructively. And the question is basic. Faith in what? If we are to impart a faith, what kind of a faith is it that you and I should impart? And I can almost hear the spontaneous answer. Faith in God, of course. What else? And yet, I would like to ask in addition, is this sufficient? Of course, faith in God is basic in any religion, and particularly in Judaism. But is this quite enough? Aren't there also tasks that require human involvement? To depend upon God to do our jobs for us entirely, I believe, is to evade a personal responsibility. And there's an old familiar story that points this out, I believe. I've used this from the pulpit before. Let me repeat it for those who have heard this. It concerns a large airplane that was leaving Los Angeles, was lifting over the Rockies when one motor began to spit and to sputter. The stewardess, of course, was quite concerned, and she told the passengers to fasten their seatbelts. They were going down for an emergency landing. There was a priest aboard. He sought to console the stewardess, and he said, "Ma'am," he said, "you tell the pilot not to worry. We have 8 bishops aboard this plane." She went forward, and she then came back and reported, "I told him, Father," she said, and he answered he'd rather have 4 engines. Now, no one certainly needs to preach the importance of faith in God. This is fundamental. But there are several other convictions, I believe, that are equally indispensable. And I should like to suggest, with your help, at least 3 such beliefs this morning. Firstly, I think, is a belief in man. You and I must impart to our children a belief in man and in man's possibilities. No age in the last, 100 years, I believe, has required this faith more desperately than the present, when the whole gamut of our society is fast losing its faith in man's potential, I believe. The end of World War II marked the crucial turning point, when pessimistic philosophies reared their heads all over Europe and now find their counterpart on American shores in the somewhat new phenomenon called the beatnik culture and its ramifications. All of these are but escapes from the world and from reality, propounded by people who are really sick of life, because in essence they are sick of human beings. They see no hope for man in the future. Many young people are wondering whether it pays to go to college. I was asked only recently by a young couple whether it's moral to bring children into a world in which they may have to encounter the ghastly horrors of mass destruction, the H-bomb or the cobalt bomb. Is it right to have children? Is it right to rear a family in this time and age? You and I had better regroup our forces and pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. Because in the first place, where did we ever get the idea that we are so unique today? We hold no monopoly on doom predictions. 2,000 years ago, Lucretius said, and I quote, The walls, he said, of the wide world will lapse into crumbling ruin. All things will decay little by little and go to the tomb, worn out by age and length of days. This was Lucretius 2,000 years ago. Shakespeare declares, our hap is loss, our hope but sad despair. No less a man than Disraeli once said in a speech in Parliament, in industry, commerce, and agriculture, there is no hope. Thank God, you and I, in retrospect, become chachamim. We become wise. We can see that not one of these people knew of what they were speaking. Losing faith in man accomplishes absolutely nothing, not even the prophecy of correctness. And against this, our faith, Judaism has always stormed. It was for such a loss of faith in man, says the Midrash, that Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, the great Jewish leader, was denied entrance into the promised land. I quote now from the Chumash, you doubted me, said God, but I forgave that. You doubted your own powers as a leader, this too I could forgive. But, and now I add the Midrash, you lost faith in this people and doubted the divine possibilities within them, this I cannot forgive. And for this you will not enter the land. And as we know, Moshe Rabbeinu was refused the entrance. In this morning's Sidra, the opening passage, we read of the death of the two sons of Aaron, because they approached the Lord with a strange fire. And the Midrash then adds a lack of faith in man. Once again, a loss of faith in man's potential. Indeed, the Midrash, I believe, points to the heart of the matter. When we look at world's history dispassionately, we must come, I believe, to the conclusion that there has been steady progress over the years, perhaps agonizingly slow, but there's been steady progress, advance. What is history of civilization, if not a record of man's triumphs over failure? What is music, if not the victory over some noise? What is medicine, if not a triumph over death? And what is law, if not conquest of the animal instinct? If our children are to correct the mistakes of the past, and this, of course, is our insistence, then we must teach them first, I believe, to have faith in man and in man's possibilities. All is not lost. A optimistic faith, a belief in man's potential. This, I believe, important. And then secondly, our children, yours and mine, need a second faith, a belief, what I'd like to call a belief in the spiritual. Cold facts reveal that the spiritual life has been pushed aside. And this may not come as something new. You've heard this perhaps before from pulpits or podiums. But I should like to repeat this because it bothers me a great deal and should be bothering you. If the modern age has damaged human progress in any way, it's in the heavy weight and the emphasis that has been placed on materialism. Even our language, our daily language, should impress us with this fact. In America, when we say that a man has made good, what do we mean? That he has good character? That he's a fine scholar? That he's a good human being? That he shares or perhaps is compassionate? Certainly not. We are thinking of only one thing. He has succeeded materially. When a mother says, my daughter or my son is marrying well, what does she mean? He's marrying a nice boy, a handsome boy, a tall boy, a short boy, nice character, a good human being, a good student, a good husband to be, or a good wife to be? Unfortunately not. He's either marrying a wealthy boy or a wealthy girl. That's the stress. We face, I believe, the alarming danger that with all this emphasis on the tangible and material, our youth will never grow up knowing that the spiritual is just as real and that just as essential for making good. Not too long ago, You may have read this article with me in Fortune magazine. They conducted a survey of the ambitions of young college students, what they wanted from life. And a typical comment ran something like this. One young man said, I want a modest income, about $15,000 to $20,000 a year, the chance to travel in Europe, a summer cottage, and a nice home. This was the average, typical comment of the young student. And I believe, I don't say this unnecessarily perhaps, or grievously, or overcritically, but strikingly missing was any desire to change the world or to clean up politics, to improve human lot, to help people. When you and I were at college, a lad of 18 wanted and really expected to reform the whole world. We had issues. We had stakes in life about us. We weren't ideal nor perfect, but we thought a great deal more of the world about us than do our children. Such idealism, I believe, has disappeared from the thinking of modern youth to a great extent. Not entirely. We have the Peace Corps and things of that nature. But generally speaking, our children here in this community are sorely lacking in this kind of idealism. The American drive for materialism, I believe, has deep psychological and philosophical underpinnings. Underneath all of this drive, I believe, is a hard fight against the uncertainty of life, the inconstancy, the unstable nature of our present-day world. Everything on earth, especially now, seems perishable. Hence, we have the great push for economic stability, the great push for security, and the great push for supremacy. But the tragedy, the honest-to-goodness tragedy of all this rush and pell-mell doing is that it's a bottomless pit, a receding horizon that moves away as soon as you think you have reached it. The answer, my friends, lies in quite another direction. Only the spiritual, as you and I know for 3,000 years of history, only the spiritual can claim to be imperishable, unbreakable, or eternal. And the failure to recognize this truth is to sink deeper into instability. Granted that we are swirling victims in this social, economic maelstrom, do we want our children to grow up this way? Are we involved? We're afflicted. We rush off in the morning, rush home at night, and we're constantly involved in rush and run. Must our children be equally afflicted? Or do we want them to believe, for example, that love is mightier than money, that honor is one of the few things that in life that is constant? What about appreciation for a job well done? What about a respect for a person's integrity? Are these imaginary? Are they real? This, I believe, we must teach our young to believe as they scamper up the rungs of success. Economic security is important. Economic security is necessary. Economic security is basic. I'm not an otherworldly aesthetic. I recognize the value of the economy. But in the long run, what decides between success and failure is not the material, but the character. And that, my friends, doubtlessly is spiritual. This, I believe, is what Abraham Lincoln was urging when he said, I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. I am bound to live up to the light I have. A belief in the spiritual as an indispensable tool for the creation of a satisfying life is basic. More than that, it's imperative. It's a mitzvah. It's a commandment. And this is the second faith I would like to impart. And then lastly, one more thing needs to be said, I believe. In addition to a belief in man and a belief in the spiritual, young Jews and Jewesses need to believe with unshakable faith that their religion, their belief, and their heritage is a boon to mankind. That Judaism has a real message to offer. That its survival, and upon its survival, depends not only the survival of Jews per se, but the survival of the world in which we live. I have often asked myself, and perhaps you've done the same, just why is it that the Jewish people and our faith has had the power to survive. How have we lasted through these thousands of years? And I'm convinced that it's much more than just self-preservation. Ein breira, they used to say. What else can you do? If you don't live, you die, so you must live. I don't believe this is sufficient. I must believe that there is a higher purpose behind such survival. And to me, that purpose is this, that Judaism was never meant for the Jewish people alone. It was meant for the entire people of this country and for the entire people of this world in which we know. And that's why it has refused to die. Jews, I believe, need to believe about Judaism just what our Christian neighbors believe about their religion, that it can save people and that it can save the world. And why, you may ask, does the world need Judaism so desperately? The answer, I think, is quite simple. Because Judaism, of all faiths, has been the most humanizing and the moralizing force in the history of mankind. To me, one of the strangest puzzles is how the Jewish people could turn out to be a moral people at all. Everything under the sun worked against this prospect. Their eyes over the course of the years, and we've beheld all kinds of pogroms and been chased from country, pillar to post. We have beheld bestial cruelty, depravity, and suffering. Our people have had to beg for bread, hide from the secret police, jump the borders, sleep in cellars all the way from Constantinople to Berlin. How survive? The Jewish boy in those cellars of these pogrom areas used to study Torah, which taught them that kindness to animals is as much a divine requirement as goodness to human beings. All of this in the midst of a Holocaust. The Jewish girl who begged for a slice of moldy bread was taught the morals of sharing, the meaningfulness of tzedakah. In the fever of human conflict, where bodies were beaten by the victor, and the vanquished was cast into the filth of humiliation, the Jew was exposed daily to the purity of a Torah which preached the dignity of the human being. That man was created in God's image, Nivra b'Tselem Elokim. Just as in this morning's Haftorah, where we learned of the deep friendship of Jonathan for David, of a high tone and spiritual quality unmatched in all literature. We have been taught through the ages, despite the Holocaust and the beatings, the deprivation and the suffering, the Torah taught a consideration for one's fellow human being. The Jews were a natural, as they say, for a history of crime, depravity, and violence. They turn out to be the donors of the Ten Commandments to the world. This, my friends, is the power of Judaism, the most humanizing force, I say, and my colleagues say, in the story of man. But the internal question is, do Jews know this? Do our people know this? Do our children recognize this? Are you aware of this factor? Are they conscious of this? Do Jews come into the synagogue knowing that they are stepping into this march of progress? Are our children being taught to believe that Judaism is the greatest force in this world's history? I wonder, if they are not being taught this, we are guilty of not imparting a meaningful faith to our children. A great Christian theologian, James W. Parker, wrote as follows. He said, Jewish children should learn, but without vanity or exclusiveness, that one of the best reasons for remaining loyal to their Jewish inheritance is that it is an essential, irreplaceable part of the spiritual and the cultural foundations of all human civilization. This has to come from a non-Jew. A message to our Jewish children. You know, in visiting the campuses throughout the country, as I have occasion to do, and in lecturing before different groups, to the north and the south, and the west and the east, I find that your children, and perhaps mine, are sorely lacking in this understanding. And they say, well, what difference is there? Is there any difference in the faith? Isn't there only one God in one religion? Of course. But to understand the reason for and why one should remain and survive as a Jew and impart a real message, is something they haven't been exposed to. First of all, not from their homes, which is basic. And then perhaps not from their Talmud Torahs, their Sunday schools, or what have you. And we have failed in this regard, I believe. If, in conclusion, if the principle is right, if in our children God gives humanity a chance to correct its mistakes, then these, I believe, are the things that can bring this about. First of all, a belief in man's potential. And then, secondarily, a belief in the spiritual quality of living. And lastly, a belief that Judaism can change the character of the world in which we live. And then perhaps, equipped with these motors, that plane of faith can rise and fly, and together with the wings of faith in God, we, you and I, can yet soar to high human attainment. And perhaps, I hope and pray with you, as we offer prayer and shall continue the service this morning, create or help to create a better world of tomorrow. Amen. We continue the worship. Would you please rise? Page 275 in the Siddur. The devotion in the Siddur, page 277.
Isn't that supposed to be open? The white sheet?
They're going to roll it down. They're going to roll it down. Maybe if you weren't here, boy.
Relax.
You know what you're doing?
chachim avas kala nesastadim oye vorech esachoson esachoson veyes hakala. Baruch haba miadir alakol mi baruch alakol mi gadol alakol oyevarech chason v'chala beruch haba adir aleinu b'simen tov u'mazel tov chason baruchu kala berucha b'noeh. Almighty God, bless the bridegroom, you Mendy, and the bride, Urani, who come before the Almighty in His divine protection. We drink of 2 cups of wine this afternoon, especially at this wedding. 1 cup represents a cup of sweetness in life, and of course the other of trials and tribulations, of understanding, of judgment, of love, everything that's involved in the form of sincerity around your marriage, around your love for each other. Therefore, we partake of the first cup of wine. I'm going to ask the guests to please respond to the proper Amen as I recite the blessings. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei peri yagofen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam Asher kirishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu aruyos v'yosarilunu esvarosos v'yitirilanu esanesuos lanu al yidei chuppah v'kidushim. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Amo Yisrael al yidei chuppah v'kidushim. Face each other. Take a drink, Mendy. Ronnie. The ring, please. You can put the flowers down. Mendy, take this ring and place it on Ronnie's forefinger of her right hand. And to Ronnie, repeat. Hare,
Hare,
At,
At,
Mikudeshes,
Mikudeshes,
and you must say the word Li.
Li,
Bitaba'as,
Bitabas,
Zu,
Zu,
Kedas,
Kedas,
Moshe,
Moshe,
the Yisrael.
Yisrael.
Behold,
Behold,
thou art consecrated unto me
thou art consecrated unto me
with this ring,
with this
in
ring,
accordance with the law of Moses and of Israel.
in accordance with the law of Moses and of Israel.
Okay. The other ring, please. Ronnie, take this ring and place it on the conventional finger of Mendy's hand. And to Mendy, Ani ledodi uledodi li. As it is written in the Shir HaShirim, the Song of Songs, I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. Okay, face me, please. And of course, we read the marriage ksuba, which is written in the original language in Aramaic, and then I will read it in English. V'yachod b'Shabbos v'shiva v'eslam yom l'chodesh elul shnas chamesh esalof meshva mi'os u'shloshim v'seisha Levriya Solom in Shona Monacan ben New York Vab Atzvoni Secha Chosan Nachem Mendel Breb Simcha Malkiola Besulta Rochel Basra Yitzchok Heavy Lilian Tikedas Moshe Yisrael Viano Eflach Vierke Viezim Afanis Sichilichi Koskov in your Doyen the Volken und Mokren Besonum Fanasem Lashem Bekushta the Ohivne Leiche Mohavesu Leichi Kisabsu Sai Mosan the Kose Lichi Meraisa Omesu Naichi Visikul Saichi Visikul Chaichi Omeyali Vosachi Ora Kol Aresvia Moras Rochel Besulta Do the Aves Liliantil Dena Dunya the Nos Bea Vuha Ben Birsa Ben Bidha Ben Bisaf Shitin the Moni de Levusha Bishimushi Tira Bishimushi Di Arsa Hakol Kibel Elov Menachem Mendel Chassandenon Bemeas Kukum Keset Soda Facherem Kenegdon Vitsovi Menachem Mendel Chassandenon the Josef Lomen Delay Odach Denon Achrei Starke so the Dunne Dane the Septa Dog Kepos Halai Yal Yosa Basrai Liaspora Mikol Shvag Aragni Sendi Koninin the Islit Kos Kol Shmaya the Knoi the Osedanol the Miknain the Sint the Isla Honachraius or the Lesla Honachraius Kolhonia Honachroi Viarvom Lefro Men and Stark so the Dunne Dunye Dane is a Septamin and Minafil Min Galima the Al Kasfoi Bachayai Uvasachayai Min Yaman the Non Uliala Machrai Comic Story Kisubis the Septitos the Non Signal Kibel Allah Menachem Mendel but Simcha Malkiel Chassandenon Kechome Kol Shtori Kisubis the Septos the No Hagim Bevnos Yisrael who are Sikun Kisikun Chachamenu Zichron Livrocha the Soshe the Konino Min Menachem Mendel but Simcha Malkiel Chassandenon Lemoris Rochel Basra Yitzhak Besultador Yal Kol Mat Yisidna Forishli El B'moni D'chosh L'mikne Veya Kol Shorim V'Kayon Niyom Avraham Reb Yosef Veroba Aid Niyom Avraham Yitzchak Klein Aid. And of course this is to certify that on the first day of the week, the 7th day of the month of Elul, in the year 5739, corresponding to the 9th day of September, 1979, the Holy Covenant of Marriage was entered into at 1301 Seawain Street, of course, in Hewlett, New York, between the bridegroom, Hugh Matthew M. Pearson, and of course, his beautiful bride, Ronnie A. Silvers. It's fine. Mendy, you, the bridegroom, make the following declaration to Ronnie, your bride. Be thou my wife according to the law of Israel and of Moses.
Be thou my wife according to the law of Moses.
I will faithfully promise that I will be a true husband unto thee.
I will faithfully promise to be a true husband unto thee.
I will work for thee, I will support thee, I will love thee, I will provide all that is necessary for thy due sustenance, even as it beseemeth a Jewish husband to do. And you, Ronnie, have plighted your troth unto Mendy in affection and in sincerity, and have thus taken upon yourself the fulfillment of all the duties incumbent upon a Jewish wife. Of course, this holy document was witnessed by 2 Orthodox witnesses and properly sealed. Of course, this is to be your property, Ronnie, ad mea v'yesrim shana, till 120 years. And may most of us here be able to renew it with you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri Yaakov Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shakol Bodo lechvodo Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Yotzeir Hodam Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher yotzar esawada b'tzalimo B'tzelem dibus tavini Yisov Yizkiri lo mimeno binyan adeyad ata Adonai yotzei hawadam. Sol tasir v'sugin l'akara v'kibutz boneho l'socha b'simecha Baruch ata Adonai Mesameach Tzion Biboneha Sameach Tisamach Re'im Wahovim Ki Samechach L'Yisircha B'gan Eden Nikedem Baruch Ata Adonai Mesameach Oson V'chala Baruch Ata Adonai Melech Haolam Asher Borososa V'simecha Chason V'chala Gilarino Ditzo V'chedeva Ahava V'yachavo Shulam V'reyu Meheir Harino Eloheinu Yishama B'yuri Yehuda V'chotzos Yerushalayim Kol Sosan V'kol Simecha Kol Choson V'kol Kala Kol Sosan V'kol Simecha Kol Choson V'kol Kala Kol Mitzalos Hasan Michupasan Unyarim Mishtei Niginasan Baruch Ata Adonai Mesameach Osan Imakala. Mendy, Ronnie, I don't intend to prolong the ceremony, but I think it's appropriate. It's a great nachas for me as well. It's somewhat of an extra pleasure, something I don't usually come across in a lifetime too often. I, as your teacher, I, as a cantor, as a rabbi, who has had you in my synagogue, not only as a member, not only as one who's always been instrumental in helping in the singing, not only one who has exemplified yourself in the Haftorah work, in the shiros, in the singing, but one who has sung in my choir, and a very, very close friend of the family. Also, I know I've had the schus not only to know your parents very well, and to know them even now. God willing, they should be healthy and happy, all of us. And of course, your grandparents. And you come from a wonderful family. Anybody that comes from a family like that with your qualities and has chosen Ronnie to be your bride, I'm sure since I've met Ronnie's family just briefly, that this wonderful couple, this wonderful achtershap, this togetherness that you have caused to form between the two of you will be a love that's dedicated not only to yourselves to be proud of and to your parents, but to the Almighty. Because the Almighty has said, "Thou shalt create for me a Beis HaMikdash." V'yosu li Beis HaMikdash. Mikdash. He meant a Mikdash Mi'at as well. A sanctuary in the home, that if you will take God within your home, you will comply with that request that the Almighty had made. And I don't have to tell you any more than that. I'm very proud. My wife, who has been singing in the early part of the ceremony, and myself, we're so happy to be here to join with you at your great simcha. And we hope that with God's help, that everyone here this afternoon, we join together now in wishing you not only a mazel tov, but good health throughout the family. May we know of no illness in the family, but only nachas and hatzlocha. Of course, it's up to you now, Mendy. I'm going to watch that you don't hurt your foot. You have a heavy glass here. You stamp on this with the heel of your right foot, and we all shout mazel tov. Mazel tov. Kiss your bride. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Take this with you, all of us. Turn around. March right out, Ronnie. March right out with them.
I love you, baby. You're mine now. Also mine. I love you.
Take your flowers with you, dear.
Come, págame, my father.
Grandma and Grandpa? Yeah. Okay. Grandma. Okay. Could I have you just come over here? It'll be a lot easier. Definitely. Yeah, it's over there. Wherever you want to tell me to go. Bring him over here.